Read, nigga! Read!
Back in my day, every game came with these cool paper manuals with the box. These manuals have information about general game controls, expanding the lore of the game. A lot of the stuff in here can get pretty technical, or the details included matter. And growing up, you would let your little brother be the one to go through this because they're not going to get to play the game first. And me being the little brother, I was forced to deal with this. But not all hope was lost. There's a lot of cool stuff in these game manuals that they don't really make them anymore because you just figured out you just don't need to make them, I guess. Personally, I've been a PC gamer for the last 15 years, so these paper manuals aren't really existent. I know Steam has a way to attach them to the games, and it's kind of hard to find games that have the paper manuals attached. I guess digital copies of the paper manuals attached. And because I am working on a Metal Gear Solid video, I thought to snoop through this document that came with the original Metal Gear Solid 3 on PlayStation. Because one of my criticisms is the game controls are not very well explained, such as the infamous close quarter combat mechanics. And I guess modern day games rely a lot on long talking at the users, hammering them over the head with the basic tutorial and forcing them to learn them pretty quickly or do everything once and then never need it again. And honestly, we've been blessed with standardized controls for a lot of games. Back in the day, Metal Gear Solid 3, the first-person shooting mechanics they flip the standard control schemes on its head a little bit. Because, for example, one of your buttons is dedicated to pulling the trigger. So you hit the button to pair a shot, and once you release the button, the bullet goes off. No, I don't think any other game does something like that anymore, because there's a standard of just have the button one press lead to a bullet being fired immediately rather than a on release. So me wanting to look through the manual to see what exactly existed for it, there's a cool manga styled, comic styled story, like a one shot. There's like 10 pages comics going on here, and a lot of it is just screenshots from the game. I don't think this is very hand-drawn. I mean, some of this looks like it could be hand-drawn. I kind of dig the stylization with it. The presentation is very cool, and it's about how he gets food in the game and eats to survive. A detail that I would never have noticed because I don't think it's ever mentioned in the game. The lower your stamina meter is, the more your hands can shake when you're aiming, which that's what the manual's for. There's these cool details in it that you might not have ever known about. In general, another reason I was wanting to look at this is a lot of things with the Metal Gear franchise. There's so many different interactions with it that you're not going to know about without reading about or finding someone else has knowledge on it. Granted, there's a billion people you can call and spam call them to get information at different places and different locations. They will tell you more details about the world or give you ideas on things you can do. But I'm lazy and I don't like talking to people because I'm autistic, I guess, just like Snake. Another thing with these unique mechanics is depending on how you balance your game, it can make these features relevant unless you must frequently adapt to them, or it doesn't provide enough impact, or it's too easy to deal with, like a stamina meter. The food's plentiful, resources to heal yourself or heal wounds is plentiful. It's not really like, why did you put it in the game if I can just treat it immediately or deal with it immediately? Counterpoint, a game I tried to get into a long time ago was Green Hell. It's like a island survival crafting hardcore. There's a intricate health system. Something I can remember is you have to individually inspect each of your limbs for leeches constantly, and you would need a consumable resource to pull them out, or some other insect that would burrow underneath your skin that you could observe that, hey, there's something in my skin I should deal with. The thing with that game is the frequency you would get these. The reason I didn't like that game that much was it felt I was constantly needing to treat something with myself. And maybe if I learned about the game more, I wouldn't have to deal with it that much. But the way I perceived it was, I'm going to be dealing with this the whole game, and I'm just not interested. So I ended up refunding that. Point being, maybe if there was a manual attached that would give some details or tips such as this, maybe I knew about it and it was at a presentable place for me to find it, things might end up different. This is something that would have been useful to know in the game. You can tap the button quickly to go crouching. This is one that's very intuitive, you learn that. Or going prone. I did not know you can go from prone to crouching very quickly. Maybe that's the general criticism on the game, that there's the in-game tutorial is not that in depth, but comes with the manual, or at least it did back in the day. Another detail, I genuinely didn't know you could use weapons while hanging. Yes, the infamous CQC close quarters combat. They like to throw this word around a lot in the game, which is ironic because if you haven't read the manual, you're not going to know how to do any of it, so it's not relevant. I wish more games would give you interactive tutorials where you can walk and talk, or I like the games where you can play around during the tutorial or during dialogue and start learning things before they inevitably get through their long-ass spiel on whatever they're talking about. In general, tutorials tend to go longer than they should. Or maybe they could have more writing in front of the user to explain how to do things that I can listen and read at the same time, or at least whatever I'm hearing during a tutorial is not that relevant to begin with. There's mentions that your taste in food will improve when you eat more of the same food repeatedly, which is kind of cool. I don't think anyone is really going to know this other than, well, me and I think most people would not know this, honestly. It's an obscure detail for a mechanic that does not really matter all that much. It's so plentiful and easy to get. Oh, they've got the snake versus monkey minigame. It's not in the HD collection, but it was in the remake, I believe. Did you know this game actually had DLC? Originally for the PlayStation 2. It was listed somewhere in this document. I can't seem to find it again, but you can get a free camouflage by connecting it to the internet, which is insane to me that a game from 2004 had downloadable content. Wait, yes, I recall noticing weight was in the game, but I don't know what it meant. Scales how much your stamina drains. Wow, didn't know that. There's a map updates? What?
Oh, you get more fake death pills depending on the difficulty, I'm assuming.
It's kind of lame. That's a cool mechanic, and you can only use it once on European Extreme.
Look at how much detail and effort they put into this. This is impressive. What's this gun? Oh, yeah, the sleep.
There's a specific gun for playing it on very easy. You know that? It's awesome. So when I was playing, I don't recall having these for my most recent playthrough, but on my normal playthrough I had these sensors. I'm guessing that I don't get them on my difficulty, which is kind of lame, because those are some very useful tools. The higher the stamina gauge, the faster the battery recharges. What the fuck? Kojima, you're a genius! Okay, here we go. The camouflage download. You can't even see BM's face, it's too dark. Oh, look at all the details. It's a comic book? $4? My brother in Christ. First the McChicken and now my fucking manga books. Oh.
I'm 55 years old. I wear holy jeans and hey dudes, and I drive a luxury sports sedan. Please like and follow and roast me in the comments.